What's up, gamers and collectors? DGC back with another video. We're looking at some pickups. Let's check it out. So before we do that, I like to apologize a little bit about the absence. The channel's going through a little bit of transition, and in a few months it'll all make sense because I'll explain everything to you. So if the videos are a little sparse for the next couple months, you'll figure out eventually why. I will explain it all to you then. But until then, that's pretty much all I'm going to say on the piece. So Fancy Action Now, really great channel. Link in the description, and I'll put a little picture of his face right here, or his channel thing. Really great channel. Really have gotten to know that guy probably over the last year or so. I've been watching his content, and he really actually has the same taste in games that I do. He really enjoys, you know, your Bethesda games. He's a really big Bethesda guy, and you know, he's a little bit older than me. He's probably in his 40s, I'd say. He's got a kid that I think is older than I am, or maybe my age. But either way, really cool guy, real genuine gamer, really down to earth, and just really makes great content. So I just wanted to give him a little shout out. But he also sent me a little note, or actually it's a little card, actually, a little dog on the front, and you know, a personal note in there or whatever. But then he sent me some stickers, so I'm really grateful for that. I don't really know where to put these though. I do have a plan on where I want to put it, but that's something in the future that is going to happen for the channel that I think will be really sweet, and it'll definitely be a cool thing. So I do appreciate these Fancy Action Now. Definitely go check his channel out, and as I said, link in the description. I did meet up with another channel over the weekend to do a little game hunting. Another guy from another channel. We'll talk about him in a second, and once I get to each game, I'll just kind of mention that I was with him when I got them. I did pick this up on eBay. This is Fire Emblem Awakening GameStop pre-order bonus, which was a you know, colored little book or whatever. This was like 13 bucks, so not a bad buy on that. Alex, you were going for a full Wii U set, were you not? Yes, I was. So here are the last remaining games. Sonic Rio. This was sent in by Rocker Gaming. It's kind of on a temporary lease / hold, because basically once he sees something I show off that he wants, he's going to be like, I want that. So I do appreciate you sending that in, buddy. So there's Sonic and Rio 2016, Disney's Fire and Rescue. You've never seen that in the wild. Here it is. It does come with a manual in case you're wondering if you're collecting for the Wii U. Sonic and Rio does not. Here's Just Dance 2016. This was sent in by maine-ly Gaming, still sealed. It's probably going to stay sealed. I appreciate that he sent that in, though. Then we got Sniper Elite V2. Really cool game. If someone can answer for me if this is supposed to come with an insert or manual, that would be great. I don't think it does, but I could be wrong, but I need to know for sure. This is the one game that I'm not sure of, if it comes with anything. We got Warriors Orochi 3 Hyper, or Warriors Orochi Hyper 3. I'm not entirely sure how you... Oh yeah, it's Warriors Orochi 3 Hyper is what it says on the spine. Still sealed. I will open this to play it eventually. SpongeBob SquarePants Plankton's Robotic Revenge. This is like a 4-player Mario Party type thing. And then Ben 10 Omniverse 2. So all those titles are actually pretty uncommon, and that's why I didn't even get them until the very end of my Wii U collecting journey, so to speak. Sorry, I just got out of the shower and my hair's... I need a haircut really bad, so I'm going to be playing with my hair to try to fix it throughout the videos, so deal with it. This was also sent in by Rocker Gaming. This is the big box for Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. I needed that. I own the amiibo and the game for all of these big boxes that I'm about to show you, but I didn't have the big box because I bought them day one, and this was not a day one thing. So there's Captain Toad. Here is Mario Party 10 with Bowser amiibo, Mario Party 10 with Peach amiibo, Yoshi with the pink Yoshi, Yoshi with the blue Yoshi. So Rocker only sent in the Captain Toad. That was kind of just like a free thing that he sent me, and then the Rio I do owe him a game for, and the Just Dance 2016 was sent in by maine-ly Gaming. His name's Corey. Definitely check out all these people. I'll leave links in the descriptions for all these people. But Corey just recently bought a Wii U. Me and some other YouTubers convinced him to finally do it, and he's having an absolute blast with it. He has a 360. I don't think he has a PS3 or ever had one. He doesn't have any current gen either. He does have a pretty decent, pretty beefy PC. I think he does a lot of his gaming on PC and then retro shit. Well, not shit, but retro stuff, retro games. And that's how he does a lot of his gaming. So I'm really glad that he got a Wii U. So I actually sent him over a nice care package of Wii U games that are really worth owning. So I'll specifically link that video down below. It was kind of like a mutual trade thing in a roundabout way, but I sent him a lot of goodies for the Wii U so that he could really get a grasp of what the system was and what it was about, and you know, a lot of the good games for the system, frankly, is what I sent him. So definitely check that video out, check his channel out, check out all these channels that I mentioned. They're really all great channels that I generally have become very good friends with and just really love watching their content. The last Wii U thing I picked up, I guess you've already seen that from the side of the box, but this is pretty freaking rare. This is the big box for Nintendo Land with the Luigi remote. I picked this up on eBay for a very good price. I'm not going to say the price because it was still more than the MSRP, but I actually really loved Nintendo Land. It was a pack-in for the Wii U, if you were not aware of that. Originally, it stopped being a pack-in after a while. Really great game. Some of the better looking graphics on the system were on Nintendo Land. The I can't remember all the games off the top of my head. I just remember the ones that I enjoyed. So the Zelda one was really cool. There was like it was like an archery on rails type thing. So you're just sitting there playing as like a little, and then there was 4-player that you could do, and you're just sitting there sniping things with bows. And then the Mario chase was pretty fun. It was you were Mario, and then there was 3 other people, and you could chase people around and shit. The Pikmin one, I really enjoyed that one. So you're essentially, it's essentially like a mini game Pikmin type thing. The Luigi's Mansion was pretty fun, but only for multiplayer. But so like the Zelda was fun by itself, the Pikmin was fun by itself, and then the Metroid Blast was really fun by itself. The Animal Crossing was kind of meh. The Donkey Kong was really fun by itself too. So it's like a it looks like the original Donkey Kong game. With like the beams and like girders and stuff, but then you're like riding in a mine cart, and then you can like tilt the gamepad and it'll tilt the rail, and then you got to go this way, and then there's like a loop and then a switch and button, and it was really good. And then the Yoshi thing was kind of meh. The Ninja game was cool because you held the gamepad like this and you would throw ninja stars. That was really fun. The balloon, oh, the balloon breeze, that was fun as shit. I remember playing the shit out of that. It was basically the balloon game that Iwata made way back in his early career. They redid it. It was Balloon Trip Breeze on the Wii U is what it called. I don't know what the NES game was called, but you know, you fly through the wind and you do that. And then they had a F-Zero racing game that was pretty cool. And I think so on the gamepad with the F-Zero, you would hold it like this, obviously, and it was top-down view. But then on the screen, on the TV, it was you know, normal F-Zero view, but you played as your Mii or whatever. A really underrated thing that the Nintendo Land. It's kind of funny that nobody talks about how fun that was. Maybe it was just me. If you had a Wii U and you played Nintendo Land, definitely leave a comment down below if you enjoyed that, because I personally really enjoyed Nintendo Land a ton. For what it was, it's really a special game, and it will only ever be on the Wii U because there's no feasible way they could port that unless they somehow come out with a touchscreen controller for the Switch specifically to port Pikmin 3 and Nintendo Land and other games that only use the pad. It would never happen. It's really a shame, and we're going to go into some serious Wii U videos here in the future, and I'll move on to the next games here in a minute, but it's really a shame that the Wii U wasn't ever utilized to its full potential. People still rag on it to this day. People that even collect for it, which doesn't really make much sense to me. If you're going to collect for a system and then yet rag on it, that's kind of stupid. But to me, I think the Wii U was the most innovative system of all time. Some would argue the Wii. I would argue the Wii U because it has a Wii built into it, which was truly innovative to have that. But the Wii U had this and the gamepad, and you could use both at the same time. Pikmin 3, the best way to play that is on the TV with the gamepad for the mini-map, and then play with the nunchuck and Wiimote. Fantastic experience right there to play on the Wii U. Pikmin 3, I would like to think that it is not possible for that to come to the Switch. However, Nintendo clearly is Switch porting, or Wii U porting the shit out of some onto the Switch. But with the fact that it doesn't play well with the gamepad. It really doesn't. You can, but it's not very well. Pikmin is designed to be played with it wasn't. Pikmin 3 was designed to be played with motion controls, and then you could play Pikmin 1 and 2 on the Wii. But yeah, I wish the Wii U did better. I wish that we could have gotten more support and love for it, and I wish that Nintendo could have put out more games for it, because I guarantee you 10 to 15 years from now we're going to start getting leaks of cool ideas that Nintendo had for the system that are never going to come to fruition now because nobody supported Nintendo, even though now you have people coming out of the woodwork saying that they're huge hardcore Nintendo fans, but where were you when Nintendo needed you the most? You weren't buying the Nintendo system then when they needed you the most. So, are you really a Nintendo fan, or are you just a bandwagoner now that the Switch is cool? But either way, let's jump into these other pickups here. One PS2 game. This is Taito Legends 2. I mentioned that I went out game hunting with another YouTuber, Baltimore Retro Gaming. Really cool dude. Met him. His actual name's John, so we're going to refer to him as John from now on. Really cool dude. We went out to 3 different stores with him in his area, or his neck of the woods. He lives about an hour and a half away from me. Really had a blast with him. We hung out for probably every bit of 8 hours. we met up at one mall, and then I got there first. I went to the GameStop by myself and picked up Stoked for the 360. It's an exclusive snowboarding game. And then we met up with him, and then we went to a different game store, and then I picked up Taito Legends 2 that was in a store that he frequents in his area. And then I picked up these. This is Need for Speed Most Wanted. Paid $23 on eBay for this. That's the going rate for this. But as this game gets older, this was a launch title for 360 in 2005. So as this gets older, it's still not getting cheaper. I could only foresee this at some point getting more and more expensive. So pick this up now if you want to actually own a nice copy of Most Wanted. And then here's a cool exclusive for the 360. This is Operation Darkness. It's an Atlas title. This is very cheap at the moment. I think I paid $13 shipped for this on eBay. Really cool exclusive game for the 360. Only on the 360. Definitely pick this one up if you're into RPGs and or kind of like into how would you describe this? So it's kind of loosely based off of World War II, but with fictional characters and names. Although like that clearly looks like Hitler on the back. Maybe that is about Hitler. I haven't played this yet. I'm very excited to try it though. So it's a grid-based kind of Advanced Wars type game, Fire Emblem type game where you're moving your troops around and that kind of shit. Looks really badass from the gameplay that I've seen. It actually even says 4-player co-op on the back here, but it's an exclusive nonetheless for the 360, so I definitely had to grab that. And it just frankly looks awesome, so I can't wait to try that. So I also, while I was out with Baltimore Retro Gaming, I did a little bit of Wii shopping, which is kind of weird for me if you're a long-time subscriber. I'm not a huge fan of the Wii. However, I want to get into the Wii. I've owned 5 different brand new Wiis in my lifetime after my 5th one, which is the box is up here. But after I bought that one, I was like, all right, look, you got to stop buying Wiis all the time, because each one of them I paid $250 for, and then the launch, because I actually waited out launch day at Toys R Us to get my Wii. But so I picked up some games while I was out with him at I picked these up at the second 2 stores that we went to. It was a chain of retro game stores that we went to. We got Mercury, Meltdown Revolution. All these are, everything here is complete, you know that. This was 99 cents, so I was like, whatever. I used to love the shit out of this on the PSP version of this. Then we got Zack and Wiki, Quest for Barbaro's Treasure. This was $5.99, not a bad price for a hidden gem for the Wii. Then we got Trauma Center, Second Opinion. This case feels like it was just open. You know that weird feeling you get when it's like there's no scratches or abrasions on it. Like this looks like it was just open. So very minty copy of this. This was like $2.99 at this store. Very good price. He actually gave me this one for free. Baltimore Retro Gaming. This is Sengoku Basara Samurai's Heroes. This is a Capcom action RPG kind of type game. Not necessarily RPG, just an action hack and slash kind of thing. Then we got Glacier 2 here. This was $2.99 or $1.99. This is from Zoo. I've never heard of them or of Glacier 2. It's a vehicular car combat game. Keep an eye out for this one. I think it could be good. I might actually make a dedicated video on this just because I think it could be cool. as well as this game. I might make a dedicated video on it as well. This was $2.99 or $1.99, very cheap. Again, complete. This is called Spy Games Elevator Mission. It's from UFO. That's a publisher, I believe, and a developer that does a lot of things that end up being hidden gems, if you're not aware of that. This is a light gun game that I've never heard of. The graphics look absolutely terrible, but it's like one of those like hallway type light gun games where like enemies are bursting in and out of doors and shit, and it looks kind of cool. Who knows? So if it is good, I expect a dedicated video on this. And then these last two, I actually picked these up brand new on eBay, very cheap. This is Red Steel 2, already opened it, and then Conduit 2, already opened it. Can't wait to delve into these, but I want to play the first ones, which I actually have, before I beat these. I remember playing Red Steel 1 launch day and really enjoying it, but the controls were terrible. But maybe now that I'm older and more patient, maybe I can get through it and then play this one, which these two are apparently really badass Wii titles. So very excited to give those a shot. We got some Switch titles here. This is Atari Flashback Collection. This is Volume 1, 2, and 3 on one cart, 150 games in one. Very uncommon, unfortunately, but some GameStops in my area still have these in the store. So definitely check your local stores for this. This is a GameStop exclusive. You might be lucky and still be able to get one of these. If not, hold out on buying that on eBay, because they just did a reprint on Katamari, depending on when you're watching this, on GameStop.com. I was able to score one for, you know, retail price at $30. So a holdout on buying that Flashback. I have a good feeling there might be a second printing of it, just like there was for Katamari, because clearly the demand's there. People want it. People are paying out the ass on eBay for these games. So GameStop's not stupid. They want that money. They don't want eBay to have that money. Travis Strikes Again. Haven't tried this yet. I will try that eventually. It's actually apparently a pretty short game. Now, this is a Super Rare Games game for the Switch. Adventure Pals Collector's Edition. Absolutely awesome game. I was iffy about this, but now I'm not. Awesome game. Unfortunately, it's sold out. Buy this digital if you really love platformers. Awesome game. I've really been enjoying this one in handheld mode, and truly a awesome game. Beautiful visuals. Great game. What do we got? Wii U, Switch, 360, PS2, PS4 games here. Alright, let's do... Okay, so these two are VR titles. This is Race to the Sun, limited run games. And then, well, this is VR mode, and then for this one. And then this is an actual VR game. This is To the Top. Both of these are obviously limited print, but I'm going for a full VR set, so I try not to buy limited run stuff a lot, but for the VR stuff I obviously have to if I want the full set. Pretty cool games. This one is it's kind of like Mirror's Edge, but in VR basically. And then this one kind of reminds me of like Rez, I would say. Now these are 4 import titles that I picked up. This is Housemarque. This is from Housemarque. This is Matterfall. Housemarque is a second-party studio to Sony. Sony doesn't own them, however, they exclusively make their games for PlayStation. Matterfall, Alien Nation. They did Resogun, which doesn't have a physical, and I'm very pissed about that because I love Resogun. They also did Nex Machina, and that's it that I can think of on the PlayStation 4. They did another Nation game on the PS3, and I think it was like a zombie one. It might even be called Zombie Nation, I think, but don't quote me on that one. But either way, these two are physical in Europe and Japan, not in America. I picked up the Japanese versions. They're all going to play the same. You know, the games are in English and all that good shit. Cheap. This was like 15. This was like 13 ships sealed. So I mean, these are really great. They're not your traditional spaceship shoot 'em up or like Contra shoot 'em up, but this one's kind of like Contra, but you have like jumping mechanics and shit. And then this is more of like a top-down twin sticks, you know, kind of game. And then we got 2 actual shoot 'em ups here from Japan. This is Battle Gorega, Revision 2016. This is getting to be pretty uncommon. These were both sealed. All 4 of these were sealed. This has the soundtrack here, so that's cool, and then it's got the little postcards and that kind of stuff, and then the actual game. What I do like about this is, though, the spine. No, I guess you would read it that way. Battle Gorega is in English, so that's really cool. Really good game. Very difficult, though. Very difficult, because I know I'm never going to own the Saturn version, but this is complete on the disc. So now I do own a physical version of this. Now here's another shoot 'em up that is on the disc. This is Game Paradise Cruisin' Mix Special. This is you've definitely seen both of these games on other channels that do Saturn stuff for imports. These are 2 imports for the PS4. They're both on the disc, so definitely pick them up on the PS4. You know, they're 40 to 60 bucks on the PS4, but if you're into shoot 'em ups, they're 200 to 300 on the Saturn. So it's kind of a no-brainer to me, because I was like, it's in HD and they're 3 times cheaper. They're 6 times cheaper. So yeah, I'm gonna go for those. So those are some PS4 ones that I went for. And then here's 2 current releases that I went for: Resident Evil 2 and then Ace Combat 7. So I'm having a blast playing this. It's really good. Now this one I'm also enjoying. This is the first Ace Combat I've ever played. Really enjoying it. Now from a collector standpoint, I wanted to talk about something. This entire game, a week later after release, still does not have an update. What does that mean? That means this entire massive AAA developed for years game is actually on the disc. That's insane. So I don't know how we could like send that message that us as collectors want to support that, but if you feel like that's something that you want to have as a collector, I recommend that you support this game, whether it be on Xbox One or PS4. I can't say for certain if the Xbox One doesn't have updates, but the PS4 does not have updates. But to me as a collector, this is a forever game now. This will always work on my PlayStation 4. So with those two shmups, a lot of the games always have the day 1 updates. So this is big for a AAA title to do that. I don't know if they just kept it in development so long that they polished it so much that they figured out every bug to it, or if this development studio, which is one of the Bandai Namco studios, I don't know which one makes the Ace Combat stuff, but or if they're just that good at making games that they don't have bugs. But I think that deserves to be supported in itself during this climate of gaming, that everything always has patches and stuff. So I really praise that has 0 patches in it. I think that's something that we as collectors and gamers in general should be more concerned about, because you know, most of these games just aren't going to work when these servers go down, and nobody really ever talks about that PS4 and Xbox One are really kind of useless to collect for if you think about it. So with that being said, I'm very cautious about the things that I do collect for my system, PS4 and Xbox One. Even though it seems like a lot, I generally just go for exclusives and then indie titles, because I know that most of that shit is just not even on the disc, so there's just no point in paying for a physical copy of it at 60 bucks when 5 years from now I can still buy it, download the patches for $5. I may as well, and you may as well just wait. Like, just convince yourself to wait, because there's no point in spending 60 bucks on something that's not actually on the disc, in my opinion. But I think that's pretty much it, except for these last games. These are some of the rarest shit that I've ever picked up on the channel. So if you stay till the end of the video, good on you, because now you're going to see some cool ass shit. This last title that we're going to show here is something that's really cool. Really glad to have grabbed it for myself after all these years. So if you're new or you're not subscribed, definitely do so. But if you are new here, GameCube is my favorite system, because it was the first system that was truly mine. I had Super, but that was mine and my sister's. But so GameCube holds a lot of memories to me. So we got Lost Kingdom here. This is all this stuff CIB. I don't buy disc games unless it's CIB. It's a way for me to keep myself in check instead of just going completely nuts with games. So I have to, if it's not complete in box, then that's just a weird way that I keep myself in check from buying too many games, even though you can clearly see I have way too many already. But Lost Kingdom complete, really cool card-based RPG. I'd like to find the second one someday. This was 20. The second one usually goes for 40, 50-ish. That's going to be a little bit more hard to find. Although this is truthfully the first time I've ever seen a nice copy of it. So. And then we got Baten Kaitos, Eternal Wings, and The Lost Ocean. This is, again, another card-based RPG type game, complete with you know, all the good stuff, and then both the discs. I remember seeing both these games in magazines when I was younger and really wanting them. However, I had never really seen good copies until now, so 20 and 40. And the last game here for the GameCube is definitely top 10, definitely top 5 rare on the GameCube, and probably even top 3 rare for the GameCube, in my opinion. That would be Gotcha Force. Finally picked up Gotcha Force. I'm not going to say what I paid for this because it was a lot. It was a lot. Minty all the way around. It's complete. It's got, you know, all the little doodads in there. It was a lot, and I'm very grateful to have found this, though. This is the first time that I've ever seen it in the wild, ever. Never even seen it at too many games or anything like that. This is a very uncommon title, but I've played the ISO of this. It's a very good game, so I can justify the price. GameCube games can't really be burnt that easily, and there's really just no point, and this is just a rare game, so I know that it's going to hold its value. Plus, this is a really good condition copy. I didn't pay the top tier price for it, but I didn't get one of those steal of a deals on it either. I'm not going to sit there and say I got $2.99 on this. You know, like, yeah, but so I definitely paid a pretty penny for this, but I'm very glad to have grabbed this and added it to the collection. And so the reason I haven't been doing videos is because I live in Maryland. I work at a company where they do snow removal. I don't do the snow removal, but I have to be at the facility while they're doing the snow removal. So I've been working a lot of overtime, so I can justify buying this because of all the overtime. However, that means all that extra money literally went to buying one game, which is kind of sad if you think about it. But either way, I've always wanted this, and I'm never going to get rid of it unless, you know, for whatever reason. But I don't plan on getting rid of it, so very grateful to have grabbed that. So I think that's all of the stuff that I picked up. So I mentioned a couple channels in there. I'll definitely leave links in the description for maine-ly gaming, Rocker Gaming, Fancy Action Now, Baltimore Retro Gaming, and I think that was everybody I mentioned in the channel. But really good channels. Definitely check out all those people. These are all the pickups. More content coming in the future, guys. Life's been pretty crazy for me the last couple weeks, last couple months, so just bear that in mind, and hopefully you'll stay subscribed to the channel. And a lot of good stuff planned and coming in the future. If you didn't watch it, I had a cool collab with Mizzy, and that was on my channel and his channel. Both versions are a little bit different. He actually edited both of those, which was really cool. Gave me some time to not have to edit a video, and he even made the thumbnail for me, which is really badass and awesome of him to do. So definitely check out him as well. And then Rocker Gaming, I did a collab with him on his channel with a Dreamcast, which I'm going to be going in depth more here in the near future on my channel. But to get the modding process of the video, definitely check out his channel. I've already mentioned him a few times. He's a good buddy of mine at this point in time. But really great channels, all those channels I'm mentioning, really great stuff, really genuine gamers, genuine collectors, genuinely just, you know, good channels to watch. So definitely check out all those channels. Like I said, more stuff in the future, guys. Sorry about the lack of content and that good stuff, but appreciate you guys holding out on me and staying tuned. Xbox video is coming here eventually within the next couple weeks. Not going to give you a date because I don't want to break the date, but next couple of weeks. And as always, guys, peace out for now. Till next time.
Come here, you mother... This is it, baby.